The conservative wing of the Republican Party always advocated a non-interventionist foreign policy. Senator Robert Taft didn't want to be in NATO. George Bush won the election in the year 2000 campaigning on a humble foreign policy, no nation building, no policing of the world. Republicans were elected to end the Korean War. The Republicans were elected to end the Vietnam War. There's a strong tradition of being anti-war in the Republican Party. It is the constitutional position. It is the advice of the founders to follow a non-interventionist foreign policy. Stay out of entangling alliances. Be friends with countries. Negotiate and talk with them and trade with them.
And it begins where we left. A brother chased.
Just come home. That was your message. You got a big cheer, a few boos. Your fellow candidates obviously disagree with you, saying that it's not a practical solution. Is it?
Well, it's not practical to stay. It wasn't practical to go in. It had nothing to do with our national defense. It had nothing to do with terrorism. There were no Al-Qaeda there. They're over there now, so the longer we're there, the greater the number of Al-Qaeda there are in Iraq. So it doesn't make any sense. It's very impractical. And I think the Constitution is practical, that we should, as a country, never go to war unless it's declared, that everybody should get behind it and go and win it. But since World War II, we have not declared war, and tragically, we haven't really won a war since then.
Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy is looking like the street we named after him. Permanently under construction, the people hustling despite the...
This idea of going and talking to attorneys totally baffles me. Why don't we just open up the Constitution and read it? You're not allowed to go to war without a declaration of war. Now, as far as fleeting enemies go, yes, if there's an imminent attack on us, we've never had that happen in 220 years. The thought that the Iranians could pose an imminent attack on the United States is preposterous. There's no way. This is just this is just war propaganda, continued war propaganda, preparing this nation to go to war and spread this war not only in Iraq but into Iran unconstitutionally. It is a road to disaster for us as a nation. It's a road to our financial disaster if we don't read the Constitution once in a row.
Bring them back home. We say bring them back home. For my brothers and my sisters who've been gone too long, we say bring them back home. And I don't wanna have to keep on singing this song. We say bring them back home. For my brothers and my sisters who've been gone too long, we say bring them back home. And I don't wanna have to keep on singing this song. And somewhere
I want to be compassionate for the American people and the American soldier. I want to protect all those individuals, the taxpayers, everybody else. That's where our compassion should be directed toward. Whether we're dealing with economic policy, free markets are really compassionate. They take care of the poor. And when you talk about compassion for others, yes, the non-interventionist foreign policy over a period of time is the only compassionate policy as far as I'm concerned, because we stay out of these undeclared, unwinnable, political UN-type wars. I mean, that is the height, that's the maximum compassion that one can have, is to have a policy that really keeps us out of war. And that's what I'm striving for.
For my brothers and my sisters who've been gone too long, we say bring them back home. And I don't want to have to keep on singing this song. We say bring them back home. For my brothers and my sisters who've been gone too long, we say bring them back home. And I don't want to have to keep on singing this song. So next time
they're just tired of the war, they're tired of big spending Republicans, and they like their personal liberty.
You'd rather you live. We got more than just our bodies to offer, so fuck a coffin wrapped in red, white, and blue. Withdraw past due. We discussed it with the fact we pay taxes to build tanks, still dropping one swamp and a half to fill tanks. Gotta Chinaman's chance to fill banks like Phil Banks. For soldiers in the future giving thanks in advance, we say bring them back home. For my brothers and my sisters who've been gone too long, we say bring them back home. And I don't wanna have to keep on singing this song. We say bring them back home. For my brothers and my sisters who've been gone too long, we say bring them back home. And I don't wanna have to keep on singing this song.
just come home. We just marched in. We just got